Hello everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. So today we're going to be making some refried beans from scratch. So let's get our ingredients together so we can get cooking. Before we continue, I publish new videos every Tuesday, so remember to like, share, and subscribe. Also enable notifications and you'll be the first to know when new videos are published. So now, back to our recipe. So for our refried beans, we are going to need the following: pinto beans, onion, jalapeno, oil, garlic, salt, ground cumin, and oregano. So let's get to the kitchen and start cooking. So the first thing we need to do is get our beans cleaned. So we're going to empty those into a colander and just sift through and make sure there are no rocks or pebbles or any pieces of dirt. Then once that's done, we're going to just quickly rinse our beans. That looks good. So now we are going to transfer these over to a large pot. And we're going to fill this with water. And what we're going to do is we are going to soak these overnight. So we need to make sure we got pretty good bit of water in here because the beans will soak up majority of it. So I tend to like to go at least a good 3 or 4 inches of water over my beans, regardless of whether they're pinto beans or red beans. And like I said, we are going to let these soak overnight, and then we're going to continue cooking. So see y'all shortly. So our pinto beans have been soaking overnight, and what I've done is I've changed out the water and added more water back into it, and I've got about 2 inches worth of water above the beans. And so to this we are going to add in our jalapenos, and I quartered onion. And so now we're going to turn this up on high and get it to a rolling boil. And once we're at a rolling boil, we're gonna turn it down. So we'll be back in just a bit. So our beans have come up to a boil. Now we are gonna turn them down to a somewhat medium and let them simmer for an hour. And during the simmering process, we're gonna check the water and make sure it doesn't get too low. And then once they're ready to go, we'll be back. So our beans have been going for about an hour and 45 minutes, so we're going to see how they are. Alright, so they are good and ready to go. So what we're going to do is we are going to turn our fire off, and we're going to save some of this bean broth, because we're going to be needing some of it when we're drain out our beans and start mashing everything up. Alright, so that should be good enough. Alright, so let me get my strainer out, and then we're going to get these strained up and continue working on our beans. Right, so we've got some oil that's heated up in our deep pan. So we are going to add in our garlic. And we're going to cook this for a couple of minutes. And once it gets real fragrant, what we're going to do is we're going to turn around and start adding in our beans. Alright, so the garlic has been going for about a minute or two, and we're going to start adding our beans into our pot. We're going to give this a quick stir. Oops, making a mess already. Now we need to start mashing our beans. And we'll turn the heat down just a little more. Alright, so let's go ahead and add the rest of our beans in here. Try not to make too big of a mess. There we go. Put him in there. And I left my onions and jalapenos in here, so I'm going to continue mashing these up. And if I need to thin them out, I still have my bean broth that I can use. And once I get it to the consistency I want, I'll be right back. Alright, so I have my beans at the consistency I want. So now I'm going to add in my oregano and my ground cumin. And we're going to give this a good stir. And I'm going to have to add a little bit of bean broth. Not much, because I don't want to get it too thin. There we go. Oop, there we are, making my mess. And I've already added a little bit of salt to my beans because it needed just a tad. I think I added about 2 teaspoons to it. Let's get a spoon and give this a taste test. Perfect. Alright, so let me get this all plated up and we'll be right back. Alright, so now we're going to get this all plated up. I'm going to set us up a nice bowl of refried beans. Oh my god, these smell so good. Alright, so now we're going to top this with just a bit of cheese. And we are done. So this is a good side dish to serve with any Mexican dish, tacos, quesos, anything really. And it also makes a good dip for chips. So I hope everyone enjoyed the video. New videos are posted every Tuesday. And as always, remember, be nice and be kind. You may make someone's day.